The following segment is sponsored by Uplift Families. We as parents can feel overwhelmed with trying to figure out how to keep our kids safe with technology. Sarah is here with tips to help. Welcome, Sarah. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. I think that this is such an important topic, especially with back to school, parents kind of navigating how to deal with technology and keeping their kids safe. And I think a lot of times parents feel overwhelmed. So you have some tips on how to kind of manage that technology with their kids.
Yeah, for sure. And the first tip is really a low-tech solution, and that's just sitting down and having a conversation with your family about what you think is inappropriate, what the rules and regulations are for your technology. Because what's appropriate for my family might not be appropriate for yours. And so really getting their buy-in to figure out exactly what is expected of them is really important.
I think that's such a good point. And do you recommend, I thought this was such a cool concept, having contracts to kind of have your kids sign when it comes to technology to keep them safe?
For sure. So in that conversation, as you're writing things down, say, okay, let's turn this into a contract now. And these are the expectations I have for you. And these are the expectations you should also have for me. So some of the expectations for parents would be approving apps in a timely manner, or approving time addition requests in a timely manner, or really just having the same set of rules. So if I have a bedtime scheduled for the internet, that might apply to me as well as my kids.
I love that. I would have never thought of the contract, but that's such a good idea. And let's talk about kind of enforcing those rules, because sometimes that's the hard part, right? How do we make sure that the kids are really kind of following these rules that we've set?
Yeah, so one of the non-negotiables in my house is that parental controls have to be set up on their devices. So Apple iOS has their own parental controls. It's called Screen Time. It's built into iOS. Android devices have something called Google Family Link, and even gaming systems like the Nintendo Switch have parental controls built in. So make sure you go in and just set up what's already there for you.
It's all set up, so you just need to go in and make sure that everything is going on is, correct. And that kind of ties into the next question, because once I have controls set up, are there any additional steps I need to do to make sure we can follow through, keep the kids safe?
Yeah, you actually need to check in on it because it's not a set and forget kind of thing. And especially with iOS, an update can wipe out all of the parental control settings.
Wow.
So the kid could be going on their devices for a week without you knowing that nothing's working. So you got to go in and make sure things are reporting properly and that you're getting notified of things that are concerning and things like that. So just make sure they're working properly and that you're up on what they're doing online.
Okay, so that's truly key. And then my next question would be, what if I do find something concerning as a parent? That's a nightmare, but there are things that we can do, right?
Yeah, and first I say don't jump to conclusions. There's context for everything. And so if you see something that's concerning, sit down with your kid. Hey, I ran into this. Can you tell me more about what happened here? What's going on? And if it is something that, they weren't supposed to be doing, you can punish accordingly. But really just having that conversation and being very open about, okay, I see what's going on here. Can you tell me more about that?
I love that. Well, Sarah, you are such a wealth of knowledge, education in this area. Where can people go for more information?
So we're actually having an event on September 17th at 6 p.m. right here on KUTV, and that's with Uplift Families. So if you want more information about that, go to upliftfamilies.org.
Incredible. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.